Welcome back to our channel. Today, in quiet reverence, we remember the talented artists who left us too soon, some only just days ago. From the icons of Hollywood to rising stars, they each brought light to the world of entertainment, until they passed away suddenly. If you feel moved by their stories, we invite you to leave a like as a silent tribute in their memory. Thank you. Now, let us begin.
So I'm walking away and he said, "Will you remember that?" Oh, I said, "Of course."
Marjorie Grande, the beloved matriarch of the Grande family and a surprising voice on the Billboard charts, has tragically passed away at the age of 99. Her presence in pop culture was quiet but powerful, marked not by a long career in show business, but by a moment of pure legacy that captured hearts around the world. She became the oldest artist ever to appear on the Billboard Hot 100 when her voice graced Ariana Grande's song Ordinary Things at age 98. Her line, a loving piece of relationship advice, became a cultural touchstone, turning her into an unexpected symbol of wisdom in a generation craving authenticity. Her death was confirmed by her daughter, Joan Grande, on June 17th. Marjorie, lovingly known as Nonna, passed peacefully at home, surrounded by her family during her final weeks, a quiet goodbye after a beautiful, extraordinary life. Though she never sought fame, her resilience and presence became a form of redemption in itself, appearing at award shows, joining Ariana on stage, and even traveling to the singer's hometown theater to watch Wicked with family. She was not just a grandmother, she became a mentor across generations, a figure of calm, devotion, and warmth. Frankie Grande wrote, "My heart is shattered, but I feel you watching over me, already so proud." That pride and the cultural impact of Nonna's gentle wisdom will endure. In a world that often rushes, she reminded us to hold hands, kiss goodnight, and never stay in the wrong place. That is a legacy worth remembering. Burrell, the iconic Food Network star, known for her bold personality and platinum blonde hair, has tragically passed away at the age of 55. A beloved chef, mentor, and cultural icon, Burrell's sudden death has left the culinary world in mourning. With a career spanning over 2 decades, Burrell became a household name through her hit series Worst Cooks in America, where she served as a veteran mentor for 27 seasons. Her vibrant teaching style, infectious laugh, and unwavering passion helped redefine food television. From her Emmy-nominated Secrets of a Restaurant Chef to inspiring countless home cooks, her legacy is unmatched. Sadly, Anne was found unresponsive in her Brooklyn apartment on June 17th, just hours after performing with joy at an improv class. Authorities confirmed her passing at the scene, with reports suggesting a possible overdose. Her family remembered her as a woman whose smile lit up every room, a radiant spirit taken too soon. But Anne's story was not without hardship. After leaving a corporate career that left her miserable at 23, she found redemption through food, studying in Italy, and rising through the ranks with quiet strength. Even in her final days, she was embracing a creative comeback through acting, a testament to her enduring fire. She always said she felt lucky to be a star, recalled her friend Tyler Florence. Anne Burrell leaves behind a husband, a stepson, and a legacy that will forever shine in the kitchens and hearts of America. Leonard Lauder, the iconic businessman and cultural visionary behind Estée Lauder's global rise, has sadly passed away at the age of 92. His death was confirmed by the Estée Lauder companies on June 15, 2025, noting he passed peacefully, surrounded by family. In a world of celebrity deaths and fading legacies, his quiet strength stands apart. Leonard joined his family's company in 1958, later becoming CEO and chairman. Under his fearless leadership, Estée Lauder expanded into a global beauty empire, acquiring beloved brands like MAC, Bobby Brown, and Aveda. He wasn't just a veteran mentor in business. He was a pioneer of innovation, a man whose cultural impact redefined beauty and branding worldwide. Beyond business, Leonard's comeback as a philanthropist left lasting impressions. Alongside his late wife Evelyn, he championed breast cancer awareness with the Pink Ribbon campaign. He also co-founded the Alzheimer's Drug Discovery Foundation and donated his prized Cubist art collection to the Met, a true redemption of wealth into purpose. His sons, William and Gary, honored him as the most charitable man and a man who practiced kindness with everyone he met. Leonard Lauder's legacy, worth billions in value but immeasurable in heart, reminds us that some American legends never fade. Betsy Gay, the beloved child actress who brought Effie to life in The Little Rascals, has tragically passed away at the age of 96. Her death was confirmed by longtime friend Robert Satterfield, who shared that she passed peacefully on June 13th in Bakersfield, California. As we reflect on who died today, Betsy stands as one of the last living connections to a cherished era of American legends. Betsy rose to fame in the 1930s through the Our Gang shorts, later known as The Little Rascals, appearing in over 40 films before age 13. Her cultural impact was sealed through iconic roles in Our Gang Follies of 1938, Came the Brawn, and The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, leaving behind a timeless legacy in Hollywood history. Following a quiet exit from acting, Betsy made a graceful comeback in country music. As a gifted yodeler, she won back-to-back California State Yodeling Championships in 1945 and 1946, performed with legends like Johnny Cash, and recorded under Capitol and Decca Records, a remarkable redemption that turned childhood stardom into lifelong artistry. She will be deeply missed, Satterfield wrote. Betsy is survived by her 5 children and countless fans who remember her gentle voice and veteran mentor spirit. Her legacy will forever echo through laughter, music, and the golden days of Hollywood stars past. Wayne Lewis, the iconic singer and founding member of Atlantic Starr, known for R&B classics like Always and Secret Lovers, has tragically passed away at the age of 68. His death was confirmed on June 5, 2025, by both a family representative and the group's official Facebook page. No cause of death has been released, but fans across generations are mourning the loss of one of R&B's quiet giants. As one of the creative forces behind Atlantic Starr, Wayne Lewis helped shape the group's smooth, romantic sound that defined 1980s R&B. With heartfelt lyrics and timeless melodies, his voice left a lasting cultural impact, making him a true veteran mentor in the music world. Their crossover success turned the group into American legends, Hollywood stars of the soul genre. Though his spotlight years may have faded, Wayne never left the stage. He continued to perform into his later years, a subtle but powerful comeback that reminded fans of his enduring passion. This redemption arc, from early fame to lifelong artistry, is the essence of his legacy. He gave our generation so much listening pleasure, a fan wrote. Atlantic Starr remains active, now led by Wayne's brother, Jonathan. As we remember who died today, we honor Wayne Lewis, a voice that defined love and will echo forever. Jonathan Joss, the iconic Native American actor, known for voicing John Redcorn and starring as Chief Ken Hotate, has tragically passed away at the age of 59. The beloved actor was fatally shot on June 1, 2025, outside his burned-down home in San Antonio, Texas, in what his husband, Tristan Kern de Gonzalez, described as a hate-fueled attack. His sudden death was confirmed by authorities and mourned deeply by fans, co-stars, and the wider entertainment community. Jonathan Joss's career was marked by cultural impact, and steady legacy. He brought Native American representation to television through roles in King of the Hill and Parks and Recreation, making his voice and presence unforgettable in American pop culture. Beyond acting, he was a musician, leading the Red Corn Band and engaging audiences with both humor and heritage. Sadly, the last year of his life was marked by hardship. His home was destroyed in a fire, and he faced public challenges, including an incident just days before his death at the ATX TV festival. Yet even in adversity, Joss sought redemption through performance, recently recording for a King of the Hill revival, a sign of comeback that will never be fully realized. Nick Offerman called his loss a terrible tragedy, while Chris Pratt remembered him as a kind dude. His husband, in a moving tribute, wrote, "He saw you as family." Jonathan Joss leaves behind a legacy of advocacy, artistry, and enduring humanity. A true American legend now added to the list of celebrities who passed away too soon.
It was 2006 when we sold the show. It airs in 2007.
John Brenkus, the visionary mind behind sports science, has tragically passed away at the age of 54. His death, confirmed by the Virginia Department of Health, was ruled a suicide. The heartbreaking news was shared on June 1st via his X account and the Brinks.tv website, noting that he had long battled depression. Brenkus, a pioneering TV personality and director, forever changed how we see athletics. As the co-creator and host of Sports Science, he demystified the physical marvels of sports through groundbreaking technology and passionate storytelling. With over 1,800 televised segments and 6 Emmy wins, he became a household name among American legends in sports broadcasting, a true veteran mentor with enduring cultural impact. In his own words, Brenkus once described falling into a deep, deep depression after selling Sports Science. He fought bravely, turning to family, therapy, and even his beloved dog Zeppelin in search of redemption. But tragically, that battle ended too soon on May 31st. ESPN remembered him as an innovator, entertainer, and educator, and fans across the nation mourn the loss of this unforgettable soul. His legacy lives on through Base Productions, Brinks.tv, and the millions inspired by his journey. To anyone facing emotional darkness, please know you are not alone. In honoring John Brenkus, let us carry forward his light and speak openly about healing, hope, and help. Renee Victor, the beloved Hollywood actress known for voicing Abuelita in Coco and playing Lupita on Weeds, has sadly passed away at the age of 86. Her agent confirmed that she died peacefully at her home in Sherman Oaks, California, on May 31st after a courageous battle with lymphoma, surrounded by loving family. Born in San Antonio, Renee Victor began her career as a singer and performer in the 1960s before becoming a veteran mentor in the film industry. From her iconic work in the Emmy-winning series Weeds to the cultural impact of Coco, which grossed over $800 million and earned 2 Academy Awards, her legacy is one of grace, humor, and heart. She brought unforgettable warmth to every role, leaving a lasting imprint on generations of viewers. Victor's journey was not without hardship. Yet even as illness shadowed her final years, she continued to embrace her craft with dignity and imagination. Her comeback moments in shows like With Love and Snowpiercer reflected her enduring spirit, a true Hollywood star whose artistry never dimmed. Pixar honored her with the words, "We are heartbroken. We will always remember you." Her daughters shared, "She was loved by so many." Renee Victor's story is one of legacy, resilience, and a deep love for storytelling. A guiding light among American legends who passed away, never to be forgotten. Valerie Mahaffey, the Emmy-winning actress known for her unforgettable role in Northern Exposure, has tragically passed away at the age of 71 after a courageous battle with cancer. Her passing was confirmed by her publicist, Gillian Roscoe, marking the end of a 5-decade journey that defined quiet strength, cultural impact, and timeless artistry. A revered figure among American legends and Hollywood stars, Mahaffey's legacy is woven into beloved titles like Desperate Housewives, Young Sheldon, and Dead to Me. Her role as Eve in Northern Exposure earned her a Primetime Emmy, a testament to her rare blend of wit, depth, and grace. She also brought warmth and dimension to the Broadway stage and starred in acclaimed films such as Seabiscuit and French Exit. Born in Indonesia and raised across continents, her artistry was shaped by global perspectives. Her husband, actor Joseph Kell, shared, "I have lost the love of my life, and America has lost one of its most endearing actresses." Their daughter Alice echoed this sentiment with tender words of love and remembrance. Beyond the accolades, Valerie's journey was marked by persistence, redemption, and a quiet yet unwavering comeback spirit. Her estimated net worth of $1 million reflects a life built not on fame, but steady devotion to craft. As we remember those who died today, Valerie Mahaffey's memory will remain a beacon, a legacy of authenticity, heart, and enduring elegance. Breaking news. A man who once slept in his 1976 Ford, selling bologna folded like playing cards at gas stations, now commands multi-million-dollar arenas and multi-platform broadcasts. But what does it take to turn hunger into legacy? That's the question I want you to stay with for the next few minutes. If you've ever rooted for an underdog, if you believe in the power of comeback, then Steve Harvey's early journey, from coal dust hollers to roaring comedy coliseums, is a story that will grip your heart and stay with you long after the screen fades. Born January 17, 1957, in the mist-shrouded ridges of Welch, West Virginia, Steve grew up where hymn lines drifted above conveyor belt rumbles. His father, Jesse, a coal miner, shoveled soot deep into the night. His mother, Eloise, an earnest scripture teacher, taught him that character matters when pockets are empty. In their clapboard kitchen, peeling peas and sharing Union Strike stories with Grandma shaped young Steve's sense of rhythm and duty. Take a moment and picture a fourth grader who already knows a crowd's in his palm. Steve mimicked pastors, neighbors, radio DJs, his cadence urgent, full of quiet wisdom. Winters were snow-packed and budgets tight, but dignity was abundant. If I could make people smile, he would later reflect, I could make myself matter. That's more than a line. It's a mantra born in those Appalachian hollers. At age 8, he moved with his family to Cleveland's East 112th Street. The mountains became city sidewalks and neon lights. At Glenville High, bullying, diffusing wisecracks and off-the-cuff riffs earned him friendships and teacher smiles. He played basketball, boxed with battered gloves, each pursuit sharpening discipline, timing, stage presence. But comedy whispered louder. On assemblies, he introduced bands with quips that stole the spotlight. By 1974, he enrolled at Kent State and then West Virginia University, chasing steady money and soot-free lungs. But campus debate rooms and talent stages couldn't hold him. Risk is simply faith spelled differently, he has said, an echo of the conviction that led him to drop out, despite disappointing his parents. He preferred mopping classrooms by night and whispering punchlines to empty chairs, living proof that comeback starts with a sliver of courage. From insurance door-to-door pitches to amateur boxing and mail-sorting monotony, Steve built material from irate customers, shady managers, roadside mishaps. Each gig fed his fire. Then, 1985, a friend dared him on stage at Cleveland's Hilarities open mic. 7 minutes later, the crowd cheered like thunder. He walked off stage next morning, quitting his night jobs. That night, he became a comedian, But this wasn't instant fame. The Midwest comedy circuit meant smoky bars, hecklers, and nights sleeping in that old Ford. Bologna sandwiches became culinary staples. Still, he whispered Jeremiah 29:11 before sets. The discipline of faith, rooted in childhood, carried him through. Every set, whether met with ovation or boos, sharpened his timing, his grit. Then came 1990's Star Search. He brought his checkout line jokes and church pew punchlines and blew past rivals, earning national recognition and tripled bookings. Soon after, he hosted It's Showtime at the Apollo, taming Harlem's famously tough crowds with fearless warmth. There, he studied legends, Pryor's raw truth, Fox's command of silence. With each Saturday gig, Steve was earning a doctorate in the art of laughter. And here is where Part 1 finds its apex, 1997's Kings of Comedy Tour, a cultural juggernaut. Alongside Cedric the Entertainer, D.L. Hewley, and Bernie Mac, Steve filled basketball arenas coast to coast. The tour grossed over $30 million, immortalized by Spike Lee's film. That was the moment the coal miner's son, the dropout, the open mic underdog, became an icon. A touring headliner, a force of cultural impact, proof that legacy can grow from the fringes. But no man climbs forever without slipping. And for Steve Harvey, the greatest test of legacy came not from punchlines, but from pain. Beneath the roaring laughter and million-dollar suits was a man bracing for a storm of loss, heartbreak, and public humiliation. The first blow came in 1997, just as his sitcom hit stride and the Kings of Comedy Tour thundered across arenas. That winter, a red-eye flight took him home to Cleveland, not for a show, but to say goodbye. His mother, Eloise Vera Harvey, suffered a massive stroke. She was the one who taught me that prayer must be followed by hard work, he would later recall. She passed within days. Steve canceled all bookings, retreated to a spare bedroom, and listened to old gospel vinyls on repeat. I kept her last voicemail saved on a flip phone, he once shared. She said, "Take care of God's gift. I play that before every gig." Just 3 years later, in 2000, his father Jesse, the man who taught him dignity through coal-stained fingers, died from black lung complications. At the funeral, Steve placed a pristine microphone atop the casket. It symbolized every stage Jesse never stepped on, but paid for. Loss found him again in 2005, when his second marriage collapsed into public scandal and courtroom headlines. He lost custody battles, 2 homes, and most of his Kings of Comedy earnings. Divorce is bankruptcy with memories, he later admitted. At night, he'd eat fried catfish between radio breaks and battle insomnia alone in guest rooms. But mentors urged action. So he turned grief into grit, founding the Steve and Marjorie Harvey Foundation, aiming to anchor children amidst upheaval, just like his own son once needed. Then came the darkest moment, December 20th, 2015. During the live broadcast of Miss Universe, Steve misread the winner's name. He mistakenly crowned Miss Columbia before correcting himself, 4 agonizing minutes later. The backlash was brutal. Memes, mockery, and death threats. It was a career car crash executed in tuxedo slow motion, he would later say, voice quiet. Endorsements vanished, and a planned late-night show evaporated overnight. But it wasn't just his image that suffered. Inside, Steve battled panic attacks, chest tightness, and sleepless nights. I remember sitting in a hotel room in Dallas, staring at the carpet in my boxers, just weeping. For a man whose brand was confidence, this unraveling hit hard. Rather than hide, he went public. He recorded a raw apology, dissected the tape frame by frame, and began therapy. One therapist told him, "Emotional hygiene is like dental hygiene. Neglect invites decay." Steve responded by setting 30-minute silent prayer blocks before every broadcast. His new mantra? Health is a stewardship, not an accessory. That lesson hit again when a routine checkup flagged his blood pressure, cholesterol, and sleep apnea as dangerously high. My doctor drew a red circle and said, "This here, it's a warning." Steve ditched the late-night soul food, hired a former Marine trainer, and began 5 a.m. stair sprints. Within 18 months, he dropped over 30 pounds, halved his medication, and proclaimed on air, "My suits fit like forgiveness." He even invested in a personal sleep lab, discovering that apnea dipped his oxygen levels dangerously low. Now, every trip includes a monogrammed CPAP machine, proof that even the biggest voices need breathing room. A minor knee surgery in 2016 sidelined him from basketball with his sons. But instead of disappearing, Steve live-streamed his rehab to inspire other Black men to embrace recovery. "Visibility heals," he said. "We suffer in silence too often." Bernie Mac's death in 2008 added to the pain. Bernie was the drummer of our tour. He knew how to ride silence like a cymbal crash. At the funeral, held in a megachurch that once hosted their shows, Steve stood next to Cedric and DL, hands locked, hearts cracked. On his radio show, he aired Bernie's old bits, letting dead air carry the ache. From then on, every Apollo anniversary includes an empty stool center stage, spotlight shining on it, symbolizing what laughter left behind. And yet, redemption always whispered louder. Harvey rebuilt his psyche the way he rebuilt punchlines, through rhythm, truth, and repetition. He turned pain into curriculum, telling mentees at his vault conferences, "Cracks grant light its only doors." He turned grief into ritual, writing nightly letters to Dear Pop, recording Father's Day videos in advance in case another moment is missed, and saving space at every celebration for those gone. This sobriety journey of mind, body, and purpose didn't erase his past. It reframed it. And in doing so, Steve Harvey not only revived a career, he rewired a mission. Today, Steve Harvey doesn't just tell jokes, he architects legacy. From the ashes of scandal and grief, he has built a multimedia empire that stretches across continents and generations. Each week, his voice beams into over 200 countries through the laughter of Family Feud, now including versions in South Africa, Ghana, and the Philippines, through the gavel-pounding wisdom of Judge Steve Harvey, and through quick-fire mentorship reels chopped into 30-second vertical clips on TikTok. Even his bloopers now trend, because redemption, when done right, rewrites the narrative. Behind that media force is a business engine called Steve Harvey Global. Headquartered between Atlanta and Los Angeles, the company oversees production studios, radio syndication, fashion lines, and even a children's animation venture called Laughter League, which teaches financial literacy through slapstick sketches voiced by young Black comedians. Harvey is now a veteran mentor to both entrepreneurs and performers. His annual Vault Business Conference, held in Abu Dhabi and Atlanta, draws thousands eager to learn about storytelling, scalability, and faith-centered hustle. "You don't need everybody to believe in you," he tells them. "Just one person, and that one should be you." At the heart of it all remains the Steve and Marjorie Harvey Foundation, his most personal cultural impact. With over $50 million funneled into scholarships, coding camps, college tours in South African townships, and mobile dental clinics across Alabama, Harvey has converted Spotlight into social capital. His mornings now begin with a 4:59 a.m. alarm. He sips kale-infused protein shakes, crushes battle ropes in his home gym overlooking Lake Sidney Lanier, and journals 3 lines of gratitude before breakfast. "Discipline hates excuses," he jokes, often from a kettlebell circuit in a hotel parking lot. His wardrobe has shifted from pinstripes to double-breasted Italian suits, but one item never changes: a frayed pocket Bible from his mother, pages marked with verses that open his radio segments. His CPAP machine, monogrammed and ever-present, whispers that even icons need oxygen. "I ain't too big to breathe right," he quips. In the evenings, you'll find him playing spades with his blended family of 7 children and 10 grandchildren who call him Pop Pop, except when he loses, then it's pay up. On his Texas vineyard, he tends to rows of grapes named after his parents, a daily ritual that reconnects him to roots, rhythm, and responsibility. "Don't let your dreams retire before you do," he often tells interns. He's no longer racing toward fame. He's curating sobriety journeys for the soul, inviting others to heal, speak, rebuild. And now, as he approaches age 70, there's a different kind of cadence in his step, not driven by hunger, but by harmony. NBC has renewed Judge Steve Harvey for a third season. A new Audible deal dramatizes his best-selling relationship books. Talks of a Little Big Shots reboot swirl. But Steve keeps his compass grounded. He often pauses executive meetings to say, "Kingdom comes before kingdom come." In other words, faith before fortune. That's not just branding, it's blueprint. At every show taping, he still whispers Jeremiah 29:11. At every vault keynote, he stands in silence for exactly 4 minutes, the same time it took to correct his Miss Universe mistake. A living metaphor. Sometimes, you must endure the awkward pause before destiny resumes. Now, picture this final frame. A man in a navy robe, standing barefoot by the lake before sunrise. One hand on a journal, one hand raised in prayer. The steam from his protein shake curling into the sky. The reflection in the water, not of a star, but of a survivor. "Make God laugh bigger by using every gift he gave me," Steve once said, "and teach others to do the same." That is legacy. So if this story moved you, if you believe that comeback isn't just for the movies, but for every soul still breathing, then go ahead and hit subscribe, because the next voice Steve Harvey mentors might be yours.